A member of Congress has quietly been loading up on shares of a small biotech company, and I might have just figured out why. Just yesterday, I noticed that Representative April Delaney disclosed 2 new stock purchases in a company called Biotech Corporation. Now, the reason this purchase stood out to me is because Biotech has had a very bad year so far. Shares are down almost 36% at the time of writing. Quite a bit worse than even the broader market, which isn't off to a good start either. This begs the question, what does Delaney see in this company to be buying shares at these levels while everyone else continues to dump shares? Stick with me. Because of this, I started to do some digging, and that's when I noticed that Delaney sits on the Committee for Biotechnology, the exact same industry that she's buying shares of a company in. The reason this is such a big deal is because if you don't know, when you join Congress, you're allowed to apply to sit on a number of different committees and subcommittees for various industries and causes. And if you sit on one of these committees, you get all sorts of confidential insider information not available to the public. The exact type of information that could have huge impacts on publicly traded companies. Now, the reason I'm telling you all of this is because I figured one of the reasons why Biotech is down so much this year, Biotech got almost a quarter of all their revenue from the National Institute of Health, the publicly funded agency. Using Quiver, we can see that they've received numerous government contract awards in recent years. But because of recent activities under the Trump administration and DOGE, billions of dollars, which would have gone to companies like Biotech to help fund research, are now in jeopardy, leading to investors dumping shares of the company. But here's the catch. The fact that Delaney is buying shares of Biotech suggests that maybe there's some negotiations in place to restore some of that funding. After all, if anyone knows about a potential deal in the works to make this happen, it's going to be someone in the Congress subcommittee for biotechnology. And the fact that Biotech has been ramping up lobbying efforts recently only reinforces this theory. And if that wasn't enough of a red flag, the icing on the cake here is that her husband, John Delaney, amassed a $200 million fortune, in part by providing loans to small and medium-sized, yep, you guessed it, healthcare companies. All this begs the question, is Biotech due for a turnaround? I'll leave that up to you to decide. In the meantime, to track government contractors, corporate lobbying, and Congress trading yourself, check out Quiver Quant where I track it live. And you can copy portfolios that follow these strategies like the corporate lobbying strategy and a bunch of others.